Want to say hi to everyone? Come here. Yeah. Oh, hello, everyone. This is Lila Rose, if you have not met her. She's 6 years old. She's my baby. She's on the couch with me many times when I film, by the way, if you've never seen her. She is a beagle and a lab mix, from what I know. And fun fact, she was free on Facebook Marketplace years ago. That's how I got her. Anyways, hi, everyone. It's Isabella here, and welcome back to the channel. I fell down a rabbit hole, okay? This is like a couple days in the making of a topic that I was like, oh my God, we absolutely need to cover this. The alleged scam from the Leaked Labs brand made by the Lipstick Lesbians. This is literally a mouthful. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Some of you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about, and you just need some updates. And today, actually, an update was finally dropped that is brand new in the story, and I wanna talk about it. Some allegedly bullshit products getting sold to an audience, a bunch of excuses, and a whole deep dive. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. I'm gonna be breaking down the entire alleged makeup scam, and let's dictate if it's a scam or not, what's going on, and what I actually think about this, okay? Because one thing about me, I love talking about scams, whether they're alleged or they're like flat out scams. And I also love yapping, duh. And 3, I love makeup. I do. I'm a big makeup diva, okay? So this is gonna be very fun for me to talk about. So grab a snack, grab a drink, grab your fur baby and sit next to them and just hang out, whatever you wanna do. We're talking about something really interesting. Before you hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so you'll be notified of every single video I post. My Instagram, TikTok, second channel, podcast girl, I got a lot going on, all in the description below. So let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Womanizer, who has a little something for everyone. Speaking of, we have a surprise for you. But before we talk about the surprise, let's talk about what Womanizer is all about. So Womanizer is actually the original inventor of what is known as pleasure air technology, which is actually used in all of their toys. This revolutionary technology featuring the perfect balance between massaging and pulsating of air. It doesn't just vibrate like other toys. It gently stimulates the external parts of you know what. The technology is patented, so you can only find it in Womanizer toys. And that's exactly why Womanizer is so incredibly unique. Now, Womanizer offers a multitude of different toys for everyone at all prices. For example, you guys know that I have mentioned this little number right here, also known as Next. This has a smart silence feature, so it only turns on when it actually comes in contact with skin. Pleasure air technology, multiple intensity levels, and also waterproof. All delivery is free and shipped discreetly, so nobody's getting in your business. And the best part of your purchase is it comes with a 5-year warranty on any Womanizer item. So you are completely good to go with your purchase. And with Womanizer, we've decided to spoil you. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and receive a surprise from us. There are no losers and everyone will receive a little something, whether it's a toy or a discount voucher, which is valid on the entire Womanizer website, even on the toy I'm presenting here. So thank you so much to Womanizer for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. Divas, I had the iPad out, okay? It is, by the way, on 2%, so I had to plug it in. I'm so sorry. What is happening? What is Leaked Labs? And who are the Lipstick Lesbians? So if you do or don't know, the Lipstick Lesbians are 2 creators that are on one platform that decided to be a part of like the educational aspect of beauty. So you know how there's like different content creators where there's some that will like make the videos and tutorials, and there's some people that lean into more like clickbaity bullshit. This kind of content is very different because it really leans into informational, educational, and just overall consumer awareness. So this is like a really big aspect for me, and that's how they pretty much grew to fame. They blew up and have over 1 million followers on their TikTok. Like they do incredibly well. And these videos were kind of strategized to where they would inform people about products that we would see in Ulta, Sephora, and like kind of bring a new perception that a lot of consumers didn't have. So also this content is so helpful because with this, you're able to look at a product and see if it's like worth the price, if it's actually something that makes sense for you. Because I mean, let's be real here, buying beauty products and buying makeup is very difficult. Like I have been a lover of makeup ever since I was very little. I started taking it seriously when I was like 16. And even still, there are things that I don't always know about, or I try something new, or like it's complex. So having content like this is very important. It allows you to learn and understand stuff. And so they hit a really good like gap in the market to go, hey, you don't know stuff? Well, I know stuff and I'm going to explain it to you so you do know things in general. And it's just an awesome addition to the beauty community. So that is how the Lipstick Lesbians blew up. So there's Alexis and Christina. If I am correct on this, I believe she holds a biochemistry and science communication, which is a lot of good information that's very, very helpful when it comes to this topic specifically. Translating really like complex language when it comes to science is very, very beneficial for people who are just not able to understand this kind of stuff. So let's talk about Leaked Labs and what Leaked Labs are. I'm so sorry. Girl, we got an iPad. We got a phone, we got a MacBook Pro over here. I'm trying to move. I have so many screens to read off everything. It's a little bit difficult. I'm so sorry. Bear with me, everyone. So this is the website for Leaked Labs. So this was supposed to be a very revolutionary change that the liquid lesbians, my God, I'm so sorry, that the Leaked Lesbian God, there's so many L's going on. I'm really sorry. I'm getting tongue twists. The Lipstick Lesbians. Thank you, Alexis and Christina. There we go. They wanted to create something called Leaked Labs. And so the concept of this was supposed to be more revolutionary in the beauty industry. Leaked Labs operates through controlled leaks, limited early access drops of high potential early access, and finished formulas released directly from partner labs and R&D teams. Each release, called a leak, is identified by a leak number and introduced in limited quantities to capture real-world performance before actually scaling. Under Alexis' direction, our network of chemists, artists, and innovators develop cutting-edge and experimental formulations, often using ingredients, delivery systems, and or technologies not yet commercialized. So right there, I mean, just off the bat from this first start, this does sound incredibly interesting. It does sound innovative, and it's like, well, okay, we're getting something that maybe we don't necessarily see. So from like the first public perception, and especially for people who, again, don't know about makeup, which is kind of like their target demographic is people who don't know, so who learn through them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the first time I heard about this, I'm like, why is everyone complaining? And then I was shut up real fast. This is what happens. You learn new information and then you correct yourself. Products are released in limited quantities as controlled leaks, allowing innovation to reach consumer without waiting for traditional brand timelines. So for example, a lot of beauty brands, it can take a while to fully develop a product. So if you're putting in production, that's a wide variety of things. Like you have to develop packaging. Sometimes like, you know, when you have like a lotion bottle pump and like you keep with it and then it's just not working and then you're like, why haven't they fixed that? That's a part of production. That's something that they have to fix. There's quality control and there's so much that I don't even know about that I'm forgetting that is a part of this. Trying new products, if they're developing something new, and skincare, there's trials, there's adjusting formulation, there are people who are testing out to make sure. Sometimes some companies do additional external testing to check out the products and add more certifications. There's just so much that happens between formulation and developing the packaging, designing it, then leading it to where it actually is worthy to be put on a shelf or sent to your door. So this is kind of trying to say, hey, we're like in the middle of that process, so we want to send it to you first before we make it a full-blown thing. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I know this is like lots of words and I'm doing my best to like simplify this as much as possible. Stage 3 though is evaluation. Consumers purchase and evaluate products and have the option to share their feedback, reactions, and results publicly and via surveys. So they're pretty much saying, look, we are going to get the products to you and you guys are going to have to publicly let us know what you think, whether you send stuff to us, answer surveys, product reviews like we see all over TikTok, like however you want to do it because we want to learn from you, grow, and get better with production, which is very, very bold, I think, for any business owner to do. But it's fascinating to see that they wanted to get it done faster than actually before a product is finalized. So regardless, there's risk either way with something like this versus with something involved with like final production. You have it to where it's early and then you can adjust production and then release something better. If not, you already released a product, it's already out there. If people hate it. You know what I mean? And then stage 4 is refinement. Select formulas may evolve into expanded releases. Others remain as limited lab additions, preserving innovation in the leaked lab archive. So this concept is very, very interesting. And now I do want to actually pull up a video for you guys to show you some of the first announcements of leaked labs from their own mouths.
Everything that we're going to look at today does not exist. You cannot buy it on the market.
You're getting kind of a sneak peek as to what the brand's product development team gets to see. That's what today is all about. Yeah.
Getting a little sample taste. Hey! There's not a bad formula in this bunch. This is a curation of excellence. So we wanted to show you all the best of the best and see what you all thought. This is Flexi Powder. Remember when I was first introduced to this, I just kept thinking about how intuitive it is to use your fingers. They are flexible, but it didn't break off. And if you wet it, it will come back.
I'm so sorry. 2 things that I'm already hearing that I'm not a fan of. One, the first announcement with because this is like from what I can see, this is like influencers coming in and trying out products before the official like release of products from Leaked Labs. So number 1, I'm not a big fan of the original creators saying, this is excellence, we're releasing excellence. The concept of it is we don't know if it's excellence yet until the consumer says so. Already trying to pre-establish, no, this is really good. If you're going to do it, if you're going to freeball it, mama. Don't get me wrong. You could be incredibly proud of a product, but I just think that that's kind of contradictory to the concept in general. And then also too, I'm so sorry. I'm going to roll the clip here one more time. I saw like no color payoff with that first bit. So this is not looking good, folks.
Wow.
It looks so good.
That looks incredible.
A little water on your brush. The beauty of this is, right, create your own level of intensity.
I love this one.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with this.
Share.
So good. It's amazing.
That looks so good. Oh my God. Wow.
These are so flexible. They could be rolled out on like a baking sheet. We can make any shape we want. So that is the special type of formula and the way that these are created, which allows these to be so smooth.
It's so fun.
If we just did these little, really fast drops with not the perfect package and test, we'll stop seeing 1 million of the same product come out in different packaging. You guys tried 9 products. Give me your top 3. Hit me. We'll go around in a circle.
I like the eyeshadow though. We have to put the water on because
The Flexi.
it's the only eyeshadow I've ever seen that doesn't make my eyes crack.
Wow.
Wow.
It's like watercolor,
That looks
right? It's like
awesome.
water paint.
Yeah,
It's like
it's
just like paint.
Yeah.
Flex.
And now I want to highlight the first product that they've dropped and why at first I actually thought it was quite smart, but now I am not exactly a fan of it, and which translated to why a lot of other people who are just watching this and also purchase the product were not a fan of it. So this is kind of leading to why people were calling it a scam. This is the Amplify Flexi Powder. So the original videos of it, and I'll have some pop up over here, were showing that there was a new drop and a powder that was flexible and wasn't just gonna like break easily, which I would like to say as somebody who has broken a powder or two, an eyeshadow powder or two, I'm a very clumsy person, I really will say. Or just traveling with makeup products. It is the most insufferable shit on the, like literally it makes me want to rip out my leg hairs. When I open up a lovely product that I spent so much money on and the shit explodes. Now again, I also know that is just the chemical makeup of it. There's only so much you can do. We can admit that that's a little frustrating, right? And so if there is a way for something to be so innovative and new to where a product is less breakable but has the same like pigment and color payoff, then that is revolutionary. So first I was like, whoa, this is like so sick. This is so interesting. But there's a couple other problems here with this product that I am not a fan of. The Leak Labs debut innovation is Amplify Flexi Powder, a shape-shifting pigment disc that redefines what a powder can be. I'm going to tell y'all right now, and I'm going to be so honest with you, this is like the worst type of the shades in my opinion. I am not a fan of it at all. Okay. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, okay, years ago, I remember these samples of eyeshadows will come in the mail sometimes, or these small things. It literally reminds me of this, of just how simplistic it is in some of the shades. This isn't wowing, besides if the powder doesn't break. But if the shades are good, people are gonna be willing to buy it more, right? The world's first flexible powder disc adapts to your artistry, your story, and your skin. It's a pigment that performs like liquid and moves like skin and feels like freedom, delivering anything from a sheer wash to sculpted high-impact pearlized depth of pigment the more you activate. Okay, some of the big problems when it comes to this product that I saw was, first of all, some of the applications with it dry did not look good. In my opinion, from what I saw, there's so many people that like, it just was not applying on the eyes well. One, if it can't even get good pigment without having to drag the disc on your eye, one that does not allow for precision, that would piss me off. Now, let's say if you do want to put it liquid, again, not everyone with the liquid stuff, and you shouldn't have to buy a product and activate it that heavily just for it to get good pigment. You should be able to have it on its own, unless it's like specifically like a stick or a cream or a liquid. There's different types of products for different types of things, and there needs to, like, to me, this feels like it's causing more problems in the long run. And that's actually one of the very frequent things that people were announcing, was they were not a fan of the fact that this product was just not working out so well. And for example, I am going to play a quick review by somebody who wasn't a fan of the product.
We've seen it all done a million times over. So the people who are saying, who is this for and why are we paying all of this money? I think Flexi just isn't supposed to be that type of a thing that will make your makeup routine easier or you can use instead of all of your eyeshadow palette. I feel like this one is an invitation, a gentle invitation to play with makeup. Why not just try something new? Maybe it's gonna be fun and exciting. Ooh, I like the pink shade. Maybe it's gonna be a session of playing.
See, exactly my point. I have been goofing with makeup for years and I love beauty. I am not a fan of that lack of color payoff. Not worth it, considering the fact that one tin with all 4 shades, $34. No nice packaging. It's loose in there. There's no individual packaging for each color. How the hell is that supposed to work out? Especially if you're wanting to, quote, liquefy the products here and there, depending on what you're doing. To me, this is poorly done. This is not thinking and considering of the convenience of people. Why is it not put in a potential new package? For example, if you are wanting to do this and like release it's not done yet, that doesn't mean that you don't consider giving people a full experience by trying to release a limited edition version of something like this that has proper packaging. But for something that can be liquefied or not and move, and like that's still, those are pigments that are together, whether they're highly pigmented or not. And even if you activate with liquid, how are you going to store that, right? And then also that leads to sanitation, okay? That also to me makes me go, is this going to be 100% sanitary? Still, it feels lazy, but it doesn't feel intentional with how much they're charging and how this is the product quality is. Like, I'm so sorry, and I know this creator really likes this so far, and I love the idea of playing with makeup, but the color payoff looks like straight ass.
Never recommend this to a makeup artist. This is an update in regards to the Leaked Labs Flexi Powder. Left these out in open air for 3 days, and I also sprayed alcohol on it about an hour and a half ago, making the product deteriorate. The reason I sprayed these with alcohol is because I saw a video on the Leaked Labs site where Alexis is calling the cosmetic chemist, and the cosmetic chemist says that there are preservatives in here to ensure that it won't, you know, become like a breeding ground. Here's the thing, you guys, if the board comes around to your salon or while you're on site or whatever, and someone inspects you and they ask you, how are you cleaning these? I've never seen this texture before. And you say, oh, you don't need to clean it, it has a preservative system. They're gonna laugh in your face and you're gonna get fined or you will get docked.
This is a perfect example of why I feel like there's a lack of considering the wide variety of consumers, because a product like this, yeah, is not going to work really well. Because I'll play the clip really fast of how Alexis was talking with the chemist about how it's supposed to like not be producing bacteria or preventing bacteria. I'll play the clip so you know what I'm talking about.
Hey baby, we have to call Julio right now, the cosmetic chemist bestie. There's a lot of questions right now about sanitization with the Flexi Powder.
But I'm in the middle of
Doesn't matter, we need to do it. Beauty queens have questions.
beauty queens and the beta baddies. There he is. Julio, it's a chemist emergency. Remember these little babies? Everyone's freaking out that they're not hygienic.
You know, we did the testing, but I think we want to hear from a cosmetic chemist.
This is built with a preservative system so that it protects you if you swipe it on your face and then stick it back in the canister. Just like if you were to swatch an eyeshadow at home with your finger and then use it with a brush later.
Correct. There's a few methods. The USP method that we use in the US, it's a 28-day test. They basically add microorganisms to see if things will recover. If it doesn't recover based on the allowed limits, then you pass. Technically, yours is anhydrous,
Which is waterless.
Think about anhydrous formulas. At times, they don't even test. What's the crazy part? What if that thing is in your bathroom?
And it gets condensation. But in this case, because the factory that we worked with knew that this was going to be activated with water, they tested it.
Even if you're waterless and you're going to be in contact with water, you gotta test. You're shooting yourself in the foot.
So should anybody freak out about putting Flexi on their face and then putting it back in the tin and reusing it?
They should not freak out. You're solid. I got my sample, by the way.
Woo!
That to me still is freaking me out, because you could get in trouble for that as a makeup artist. And regardless, to me, it's still, even just from how she's showing the product up right here, it's not staying in its final form and it is breaking. So then why the hell is it in a tin like that? It's literally not considering the average everyday consumer. And I'm not a fan of that, because if you're going to sell a single product like that, you need to have something that it can go back into, that it's safe and will actually help keep it good to go. But also, like, if we're not, I mean, this child next to me, this fur baby, I get dog hair. Okay, I'm not kidding. I made a video today. I was joking about the fact that one of Lila's furs got into my blush. That happens, right? Not everyone's home is like pristine and clean. So even still, let's say you set this down, dust, everything can still get onto it and like may stick onto it, because now there's both sides to attach to the product. This does not sound like a smart launch. It just does not.
And you will have to get re-inspected. While I'm sure the cosmetic chemist has done their testing and everything, or as the California Board of Cosmetology goes, I don't think this would pass. The only way that product would work for a makeup artist is if you cut the sliver that you're going to use on your client, but then you have to throw away whatever is left of that sliver. It just is not makeup artist friendly.
Now, of course, I'd like to say, yes, this is what they asked for. This is what the creators of Leaked Labs requested, was for people to give their honest feedback. And this doesn't mean that every launch is going to be perfect. And it's okay for people to say, hey, look, we're not a fan. This isn't okay. Like, you expect people to actually speak up about it, correct? Well, it sounds like the actual creators are not being as receptive to feedback as we thought. And it's actually turning into like the biggest shit show of a brand. And oh my God, I swear I know I am beating the dead horse once again. Like the dead horse isn't even a horse. Like it's dust. Okay. I know, I'm so sorry. But one of the consistent patterns I notice with commenting on businesses like this is the lack of accountability and the lack of not taking the feedback as like a threat or such a problem. But that's when you gotta take that big loss and immediately go, great, we're gonna do something 10 times better. Like, we're gonna get really good at this. So one of the core complaints about this is the fact that you have to pay so much to have such an unfinished product and with so many alleged issues, pretty much. And I honestly do kind of agree with that to an extent, because I think that is a lot of money, because you could go out and spend $34 and like what, $6 in shipping on another like fully finished palette. Like, I think I bought like my full colorful palette from ColourPop the other day because I want to play with makeup more. I think I spent maybe $25 on it, like total. That's it. That's crazy, right? Again, it depends on what they're actually charging, what the reason is for those prices. You should be getting, in my opinion, far more actually. Because if the whole thing is for people to go, hey, I like it, release it further, then why is it not fully finished? Because I'm telling you right now, there's no way in fresh hell I would look at that and go, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's put a bunch of shit into a tin and then go for it. I'm so sorry, respectfully, this is behaving like somebody who's making something in their home versus somebody who has access to luxury, really good quality factories. So yeah, I understand why people would be pissed off. That's $40 for 4 products. Like, what the like, I literally could go and buy certain products that I use on my face daily at Ulta that are full-size bottles for that. So to me, there is no excuses. Now, I will say beta testing is not like an uncommon thing. There are different like beta testers with like websites, different products, like even movies, for example. There are viewership testing before movies are actually released. That's not an uncommon thing. But if we notice, a lot of people consistently get a discount or they don't even pay anything. So I get the vibe, but if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to offer more to actually convince somebody that it is worth trying something out, that it is going to be worth the money, because that, I mean, shit, almost $40 for something that's not even done. Yeah, that is a lot. I would be pissed at that personally, but that's just me. Number 2, like I highlighted a little bit previously, is the hygiene and cosmetics questions. The 4 powders stacked on top of each other. I cannot get behind that. I simply cannot. I think that is absolutely just ridiculous. But with this, it doesn't actually feel like it's offering something like groundbreaking. I don't really know why they approached it in this way, just because it doesn't feel like it's actually solving a problem. It's creating more problems. Like, if I am sitting here listing one, it's super cool that you can make a powder that struggles to break. But then I go, sanitation, why the is it packaged like that? The payoff is dog shit. Why do I always have to activate it with water? I could literally go out right now and buy a product that I don't, I could buy a product that doesn't need that. So now let's get into the State of the Union response. And I personally was not a fan of this one. Okay. So they decided to drop a response because there was a lot of people yapping about this. Okay. When you get like thousands of videos talking shit on your brand, valid, you're supposed to make a response. Well, I was not a fan of it because, again, and this is just my opinion, but to me, it kind of gave the vibe of, you don't know what you're talking about. We made it innovative, and you don't get it, you don't get it. And that's something that I am not a fan of when it comes to addressing this stuff, because if you're making something that is supposed to be changing the game and that many people are like, hey, this is like straight ass, that's not like, if you didn't want this kind of opinion, you should have never done this. You should have stick to just giving reviews. And also, I want to mention how if they have been known for providing beauty education, they review constantly. You'd think that they have such a good grip on the pros and cons of what a lot of people in their target demographic like, and the things that perform good, perform bad. They should have such a advantage in the space compared to like the average person wanting to start a beauty brand, because they know so much and have their platform that is directly connected to comments of people sharing, hey, this is good, this isn't, I've had this issue. Like, it's like their platform should have honestly set them up for success. Just gonna throw that out there. And so having this kind of condescending back and forth and just like how it goes, end of story, does not make people feel like they're actually being heard. So naturally people are gonna go, screw this, I don't really give a shit anymore. I should not be seeing a, oh, well, you'll understand it once you use it thing, because if people are using it and saying, I don't like it, then that is a bit of a problem. And then after that, they ended up deleting the State of the Union response, and I've been trying to find like bits and clips of it here, and they just decided to randomly delete it. It just, to me, is creating more problems than actually generating solutions. And even a lot of commenters were saying like, okay, so what's the point here? Like, are you just selling our data? There was some responses that were dropped recently, actually, on their TikTok. There was a commenter that said, again, I'm asking for a clear answer about whether you're selling our data to other brands. No word salad, no pitches, yes or no. It's a convenient question to continue ignore. And then Leak Lab said, hi, we have not been ignoring. We are not selling data. Survey data is only used to decide whether a leak retires or comes back. Someone else said, girlies, we don't want the Flexi Powder. They said, and that's okay, we'll be sharing the optional survey data too soon. We're not pushing Flexi and it's not for sale, just trying to address recurring questions for our community. And then another commenter actually said, all this information should have been part of the original launch. You say you're inviting people into the process, but it's only now after so many questions that you're bringing customers behind the curtain. So like, people are just not happy with the lack of transparency. I agree. I feel like this is just like, it feels worse when you feel like somebody has taught you so much and has connected you on like a consumer consumer basis when suddenly they switch over to be the big problem all along and a part of the problem. So what I do want to do though is I want to watch and react to I think this was posted 10 hours ago, the video that was made after the State of the Union was deleted.
If you've been on the internet the last few weeks, it's highly likely that you've seen a video about the Lipstick Lesbians and our new brand, Leaked Labs. It's also highly likely that you may think we've disappeared.
We did not disappear. We've been traveling. We're at the airport. We're on our way home.
We've also grossly underestimated that volume of feedback would come at the busiest cycle of the year, literally for innovation, where the world's biggest conference happens every year. And also, we had a trip to Korea before that. Cosmoprof is the quintessential innovation conference. It resets the beauty industry in its entirety for the year. We can totally understand the frustration that mounted because we weren't responding fast enough. But the human truth is, we simply couldn't process the information that was coming at us fast enough to give you what you all wanted. We totally...
Okay, I'm gonna pause you right there. If you do experience that, then don't respond and wait to give an actual final one. But the State of the Union response to me was still highly inappropriate. So then it's like you give a response and, oh shit, it wasn't good enough, backtrack, now we give another one. Don't be so quick, like, yeah, take the time, or if you have to, go, hey guys, we're taking all your feedback very seriously. We're gonna be addressing everything further. We are currently in X, Y, and Z, but trust me, we're taking in everything and we're taking some time to make sure we fully process the feedback that you guys are giving it to us so we can also give you a very good response. See how easy that was?
You can see how people are feeling left out of the conversation because Leaked was really for the makeup obsessed beauty enthusiasts. Now with this feedback that we're getting, we can totally make adjustments. That's the whole point.
We were in a sea of sameness. We are here to bring you access both in information and in tactile textures and formulas that you otherwise wouldn't.
And I understand that, but I think it is kind of interesting when somebody builds their platform off of highly praising or like shit talking some makeup products. You would kind of expect them to have their shit together considering they've seen a lot of failures. And again, that's not in any way to say that they're not capable of screwing up or that they have to be perfect. I think that's unrealistic. But if you know so much about the industry and you are like, this person sucks, this brand sucks, and you keep going at it like that, I would assume you'd be a little bit overly prepared. You know what I mean?
Experience. Any base formula that's been presented to us has been stability tested and tested for safety to make sure they could be used legally on any of the surfaces of the face that we're advertising them for.
Or for whatever the product's intended to be used for.
Some brands own their formulas, some brands don't. There's a whole world out there of nuance. With Leaked Labs, we can explain to you that our intention with these goods is to push them to their limits or bring them to market as is when we feel so compelled.
This is gonna be a hot take, but I think there are some people who are so desperate to make something very unique and innovative that it ends up becoming so like unnecessary and it ends up becoming like a bigger mess than what it needs to be. And I understand the idea of wanting to be so different and offering something and trying, and I always applaud somebody for trying something new, but in some cases it can be actually really counterproductive. Sometimes not everything needs to be like hyper revolutionary, it just needs to be quality and good. And I think especially right now in today's day and age, people just want quality of shit that they love using. Like, and yeah, there is absolutely room for innovation and trial and error, but I think if you're gonna make a beauty brand, you're gonna wanna perfect some of the common issues in the market, but I don't know if they're actually doing that. And I am a little confused on why the first launch was Flexi Powders that were like, you can move them around, not actually put into a product. I mean, shit, you could have made so many fun ways of like, hey guys, I want to challenge you to, we're doing a pressed eyeshadow and it's supposed to not break, and I want you to purposely drop it on the floor. I don't know, something like that. Like I want you to test it and let me know, or something like that. And if it breaks, we'll give you a refund. Like there's so many fun ways that you could be innovative and still provide a solution without trying to be so hardcore to we're gonna make something that's never existed before that ends up becoming the biggest shit show on the planet. So sometimes it doesn't need to be revolutionary. It just needs to fucking work. I know this colorful palette is not revolutionary. Technically speaking, there are colorful rainbow palettes all around. Does it work? Is it a good price point? Do I find it pretty and looking good on my eyes? Absolutely. My God, I made an amazing recreation of a Zara Larsson makeup look from one of her concerts on tour. Phenomenal. I'm just saying, like, it's simple. Sometimes it doesn't have to be complex. Sometimes the problems are simple and so are the fixes.
By the sheer innovation of it all. I'm actually so humbled by the amount of people that wanted a retail ready brand from me and us. I really am.
From you.
I didn't expect that. You will get that in some version, just not the way you're used to getting it. Otherwise, I'm in the sea of sameness with everyone else, and that's the place I never want to be. And that's the truth. We have to be true to our ethos of education. Christina has a doctorate in education. I have been doing this for 20 years. I have a deep love. And my love isn't about perfection. My love is about teaching you. So if I had to build a brand, it was gonna be a brand rooted in teaching you and showing you how it's done and how it's made. Because that's who the Lipstick Lesbians have always been. There's nothing wrong with getting constructive feedback. And we can receive 100%. Constructive feedback. We thank you for it.
Yes, thank you.
We're better for it. The next leak is gonna be even better than we could have even anticipated because of it. But here's the most important part. We will not accept attacks on our appearance, on our aesthetic, on who we are as people. We will not accept these lies that we're scamming people for money. That's not who we are, and that's just quite frankly not right.
We hear the feedback on the price. More people want to be a part of this, and we want to include you.
The most innovative formulas cost the most until there are brands and other suppliers and other tools that are created to make.
You know, I actually do understand their explanation of that. However, I still would have appreciated that they had better packaging, because I personally would be far more willing to try a new innovative formula and product if the packaging was of quality. If you're showing me, hey, we made this really cool thing, and then we're gonna go back to the lab, and then we're gonna go back to like product and like packaging and readjust that too, I would be willing to spend $34 on a new product. I absolutely would. I do think it's very important to say, no, they should never be hated on for their appearance or who they are. That's disgusting, because that should never be allowed. And I totally find that to be a very valid thing for them to call out. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it is good to, especially if you're going to try and bring the consumer in, then show things like pricing. Say, hey, this is actually, by the way, you're probably going to have a question about the price. Let's talk about it. That is going to feel like people feel better, because I mean, if we think about it in today's day and age, there are a lot of scams and problems in the industry. And I think of all people, they should know that. So being able to be like overly transparent is going to give the reassurance to consumers that this isn't just like another money grab.
Get lower in cost. Sometimes the raw materials themselves are at such insane costs, and then there's ways to develop the effect of what that raw material does and replace it with something, less expensive. What you can expect going forward is transparency. Some prices will be higher and some will be lower. Some will be more retail ready in terms of product than others. Some will be formulated from scratch by me. Some will be slightly modified by me.
I'm going to be honest with you. I still disagree with the fact that, not shelf ready. I just think that if you're going to charge so much, I understand, but I have also seen some incredibly quality expensive products that still aren't that price, or if they are, they have quality packaging and something that is going to be better for people to carry. And I just feel like if people are going to spend the money, you got to give them a reason to. I understand that the innovation is good, but innovation compared to price point, there's got to be a reason for people to still be willing to. Innovation could be good, but if you still don't have certain aspects that are going to convince somebody to spend the money, they're just not going to do it. They're going to literally take their dollars to Elf Cosmetics, NYX Cosmetics. They're going to go to Makeup by Mario. They're not going to waste their time then. So you have to give a legit reason of why you're solving a problem and how whatever they buy is a good addition to their makeup.
Because I think they're wonderful as is.
Because we're going to be transparent about that process.
All of it.
Also, there's this weird conspiracy around the selling the data. I could understand why people would be upset with that, but that's not what's happening. The sentiment that we're looking at is whether or not we bring a product back, the product retires, or we evolve a product further.
We refine it. We heard you. We heard you on packaging. We heard you on wanting something, even though we're doing this early access innovation to try and make it even more fully realized from an experience perspective. And we can do that. So we're actually going to adjust some of the leaks and when they come out in the cycle. And we're going to be extremely intentional in the language, explaining at what stage of innovation this product is hitting you,
Okay, maybe it's just me, but I am a little confused on why they're releasing a product depending on what stage of innovation they're at, because I think it should be consistent. Hey, we have an idea, we like it, we think it's pretty good, here's some packaging that's temporary, here are visuals of what this is going to actually end up looking like. Honestly, I don't necessarily think that's even bad, because being able to also add in additional photos or visuals of what this is going to look like, mock-ups, I think would be great, because then people could give their actual feedback on it in a better way. Even let's say if the formulation was phenomenal, the packaging is not, hi baby girl, the packaging is not really there. People still can't give good honest feedback about this getting released at all, because they don't really know what the official packaging is going to be. And if the tins were, I'm so sorry, all the love in the world, how the you think that was going to be a good idea? I don't understand. Yeah, did you think it was a good idea, Lila? Did you think that was going to work out? Did you think it was going to work? I didn't think it was going to work. I thought it was going to look goofy.
Was developed, how it was refined, and we're going to show you all of that in our docu-series.
And we're also going to get really clear on the language as well, because we can totally own that some of the language was definitely confusing and didn't accurately represent what we were trying to do. So thank you for sharing that feedback with us so that we could evolve and make Leaked Labs better.
And that's the point. Because remember, beauty queens, there are hundreds of brands, thousands, if not millions of product on the market.
Yeah.
The choice is always yours. It's true in every video we've ever made as the Lipstick Lesbians. It couldn't even be more true now that Leaked Labs exist. The choice is yours.
And for everyone who purchased our first leak, thank you. That means so much that you supported us and that you wanted to experience these early access innovations. And we're working on ways to engage with you further.
I worked in the beauty industry for 20 years. Within my career, and even 3 years ago, I felt voiceless. Whatever space I occupied as a beauty lover, I was either too much, too big, too fat, too loud, too opinionated, too in love with artistry.
Too intense.
Too intense. And I actually thought that I would be rejected by the internet, which is why I never made content, and we argued about it for 5 years. And the truth is that I never let the rejection of beauty, the industry at large, the way it rejected me, affect the way I showed up for you when I did finally break that seal, boom, and come on the internet because of Christina gamifying it for me.
It's okay, Mom. Do you want me to take over?
I think I can do it. So, Leaked Labs is the entry point into beauty that is meant to be welcoming, healing, and loving in the way that I never got to experience it in my career. And in the way that I know so many of you in our community have reached out to us to thank us for the work that we've done. But there were limits. And the point of building Leaked Labs is to end the limitations that we had. We also feel it's only fair for us to reset a little bit as to why we even built this business in the first place. Leaked Lab is a new entry point into early access innovation and another lane that doesn't have to be better or worse than the ones that exist for beauty lovers to approach and embark on a journey of play with us.
We love you, beauty queens.
We love our beauty queens.
It's all about love here. It's always been about love. Beauty is supposed to bring us together, not rip us apart.
That response to me is significantly better than the other one that I saw and just how people are handling the information. Now, to wrap it up is what do I think this should do? Number one, first things first, they need to have solid packaging because let's say the product does work out or maybe it's not somebody's favorite. I think people should be able to have something to hold whatever it is that is not just shitty. Okay, now I have seen a plethora of mock-ups of like, hey, this is, random like mock-up of the product and it's not official, but it works right now. Just something more to actually hold the product in itself. Two, I think there needs to be more involvement with the consumer, not just them buying something. So it's like buying like a kit experience. For example, I think it would be really cool for them to, hey, if you're spending $34, you know what you're also getting? You're getting more visual mock-ups of what this is going to look like. You're getting potential shade examples. You're getting potential feet, like you're getting more. So it's like, this is going to sound kind of silly, but hear me out on this. Things that you can buy off of Amazon where it's like a murder mystery set. This like $30 kit and it comes with these different pieces so you solve the mystery. I kind of almost wish that it was sent in that way of like, hey, here's kind of our goal with this. Here's the example. So it's like you're learning and you have a lot coming to you, not just a product. Like it's heavily involved with connecting. And then additionally, I think it would be super cool to have like certain select consumers that are able to, the people who purchase are able to hop onto a call and give feedback on what they feel and purposely make it to where there's a wide, diverse group of people who are speaking on their experience and go, this is what I like and what I don't like. And I just think that would be a really, really good option for people. Another thing I think of is I would love to see Leaked Labs do a pop-up, okay? I think actually pop-ups would work in their favor big time. If you want to do the product testing, then bring a fun experience into having the public be there because I actually think that that would provide more in the long run. So think of like how in there's certain places where they'll have like influencer events, do something like that, but like for the public. I think that would be really, really sick. So what could happen is you could say, look, we are doing product testing. We're doing things like this. We're going to have a wide variety of samples here. Here are the potentials for mock-ups. So it's like really cool events dropped in major cities that are going to allow people to attend and physically try the products there, and have it where you encourage people to show up like bareface, or show up with like, hey, maybe you don't have your lipstick on today because we're going to have a lip product or something like that. Just make it playful and fun. Having branded events like that, I think would be so cool. And there are so many fun ways that you could set them up to where they perform so well and people can kind of come and show up without spending a ton of money, and then they actually choose to purchase a product to take home with them. And I actually think if they were able to test it in person like that and then buy it at the event, I genuinely think it would convince people to buy it more, try it more, give more feedback, etc. And also collaborations with other fellow companies that are trying to develop something new. Like, I don't think this has to be bad, and I genuinely think they're sitting on a gold mine of opportunities. I just don't think they're handling it like the best right now. Their response was better, but I think they got some work to do. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm really crossing my fingers because I don't like seeing people lose, okay? I really want them to take this opportunity and make it really cool. So I'm crossing my fingers that that's what they're able to do and start up at some point. For some people are like, oh, well, they're still brand new. Well, I agree they're brand new, and that doesn't mean that they are not gonna have mess ups. I also simultaneously think that there are some things that should be waited on if you're not ready to take on the workload, investments, etc. So just keep that in mind. But you also have to make it accessible, give people a reason to want to buy, and connect with your community in a fun ass way. There's so many ways to do it. I think it could end up being like a very cool brand if they focus on that level of creativity simultaneously along with the innovation of products. So what do you guys think of the Lipstick Lesbian controversy and the Leak Labs controversy? And again, I am honestly genuinely hoping for them to have improvement. I hope that I can see some good things for them, because if they do drop something cool, am I going to say I'm not going to buy it? No, because if something is really cool, I'm probably going to grab it. Do I think this is 100% scammy? Not necessarily. Do I think that it was kind of a bad business choice? Yeah. Hoping for the best for them. I really am. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out the sponsor in the link in the description below and comment. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. I love you guys so much. And I'm going to drink some tea. All right. I love you guys. Bye.